So Anthropic is turning out to be one of the most reckless companies I have seen in my entire life. And they are doing it so openly that it's literally terrifying. So what Anthropic has done is that they are shredding millions and millions of old books. It could be rare books among them as well. They are using it to train their AI models, but they are doing it by buying these books, shredding it, literally shredding it during and after the training of these AI models. So I guess how the process happens is that you actually cut the book to take out the binding, you scan the pages, and you feed the data in the book to these AI models. And after training these books, they are literally destroying these books. And who knows, there could be really awesome, important knowledge for our civilization in these books. And after shredding, no one will get to read these books. And you would literally need Claude's AI model to access the knowledge of these books, which could also make mistakes in actually remembering the details of these books. It's so terrifying, man. It's really terrifying. And it really saddens me that these books could have meant so much for our human civilization. And it is really disheartening to see that. People are really pissed off at Anthropic for doing so on X. And you know what? I really feel embarrassed right now that I have a Claude subscription. Oh my God. I do feel embarrassed for having a Claude subscription now. And it's not the first time that Anthropic is doing such types of grotesque things. Before this, they had trained Claude on pirated books. Pirated books means these are legit books that are actually leaked on the internet, and it is illegal to download and read them. And from illegal sites, Anthropic had downloaded these books secretly and trained their AI model on it. And only when authors had gone to the court to sue them, that is only when Anthropic admitted that they had actually done this and they were ready to pay billions of dollars to settle this case. I mean, to what lengths can you go for making your AI model capable and intelligent? You are losing all wisdom by trying to make your AI more intelligent, because wisdom includes morality and intelligence in the right way. So you can actually go to any length to train your AI model. What if one day Anthropic finds out that it can train its AI model by extracting data from our human brain cells? Would you be then ordering cadavers and extracting the brain cells information and then shredding the dead bodies of humans? I mean, how holy shit this can get, man. And there was also quite a funny meme that someone had put on X regarding this shredding of the books by Anthropic. So it says, Anthropic in 2037, after finding out your grandma has a handwritten diary that they didn't scan and burn. If you realize this is the Mad Max scene of those sacrificing pawns just dancing in the fire with the fire. And someone even posted that there is a way to scan these books without actually destroying them. Why don't you do it that way? You can totally scan it without destroying these books. But no, you want to destroy these books so that you can not let the other competitors train on it. Is that what your goal is? I mean, to what lengths can you go to train your AI models? There is another controversy that Anthropic has found itself in, and this controversy is regarding the open weights model and the stance of Anthropic on open weights model. So open weights model means the weights are the ones which have the actual knowledge that an AI model has. And if you have that, you can actually run that complete AI model on your own server. So not just Anthropic, but even OpenAI seem to be against these open weights models. And Chinese AI models are those that are open weights. And this is like a threat to the AI frontier companies of US, because you can see how the AI models like Kimi K3, DeepSeek, these all open weights AI models are actually cheaper to run compared to these US AI models. And so obviously the revenue of these AI companies get hit by these cheap AI models that are also very capable. So there was this letter declared by Jensen Huang, who is the CEO of Nvidia, and it was the first time actually that he had tweeted on X. And in that post, he had posted a letter titled Open Weights and American AI Leadership Letter. So, in this letter, Nvidia and other organizations like Microsoft, Perplexity, IBM, Linux Foundation, and so on, about 25 of these companies, they had signed this letter in which they urged the American leadership to not restrict access to open weights models and not to ban and restrict these open weights AI models, which could impact businesses adversely. And it was really interesting to see that Google and OpenAI had joined to sign this letter at the very last moment, but Anthropic still stayed out of it. Now, we can say that Nvidia definitely will be profiting a lot from these open weights models because Nvidia's chips will be used to run these AI models. So, after a lot of people started asking questions as to why Anthropic is staying out of this letter and its stance on open weights model, Anthropic had to release a blog written by Dario Amodei to explain their stance on open weights model. And I must say that there are some key points of it that I agree to, and some of the points that they have mentioned are factual and they have truth in it. So, the first key point that Dario Amodei stresses on is that Anthropic has never advocated for a ban on open weights models. He says that open weights models that are not dangerous, in the sense they don't have dangerous capabilities and are a public good, and they don't cost anything besides the compute needed to run them, they provide value to businesses, people, and researchers, and that is quite good. And regarding this point, actually, it is really difficult to make an open weights AI model that does not have any dangerous capability because as model sizes grow, as AI models become more and more capable, it becomes very hard from stopping these open weights models to be used for malicious purposes. So it is just like you are making the blueprint of a 3D printer public, and these new blueprints of 3D printers, which can be really fast and efficient to print, they can be used to print anything, including a malicious weapon, or it could be used to print something very useful, such as the tools that we use in our house. So, yeah, what Dario says here is kind of righteous, you can say, but it is actually difficult for open weights models to do that. One of the reasons is the dual use case, in which, as good capabilities of AI models rise, even the bad capabilities could rise along with that. And we can see that in the case of Claude Mythos, in which, as a side effect of its coding capabilities, its cyber capabilities had increased a lot. And those cyber capabilities in an open weights model can be used to do malicious hacking. So Dario Amodei says that his main concern is regarding authoritarian governments, especially the Chinese Communist Party. And if it builds capable AI models more powerful than US AI models, then they could achieve permanent military superiority and it could repress their own people. And yeah, that could be a legitimate concern. I don't deny that as well. And he says that it is irrelevant whether these model weights are open or not, because anyways, if CCP is able to achieve this, it doesn't matter if it is open weights or not, it would still be very dangerous. His second concern is that once open weights models are released, they could be used for any malicious purposes such as cyber attacks or to create a biological weapon. And they could also have serious alignment issues. And I do agree with this completely that it could be really, really difficult to apply guardrails once these open weights AI models are released in the public. And he says that by banning the use of these models by US businesses does nothing to address this risk, because bad actors are unlikely to be US businesses that are legitimate. And he says that it would protect the US AI companies from competition, but that's not what his goal is. Then he says that the three main points that we should be focusing on is that don't sell AI chips to China, don't allow any country like China to do distillation attacks, which means that a country can make thousands of accounts, let's say on Claude, and use its outputs and inputs to train their new AI model. And it was recently alleged that Kimi K3 was trained in a similar fashion by China. So Dario says that focus on stopping this from happening. And the third is that all the capable AI models, be it closed, be it open, they must go through mandatory safety testing. And I do agree with that. That is a really key point that he is hitting on here. The first point, I'm not sure that they should not be selling AI chips to China, but if Chinese government has malicious intent that's of dictatorial nature, we could see that it's not a democracy right now. So that could be a threat if they use highly capable AI in their military operations. That could be really dangerous. So Dario finally says that he actually agrees with most of the letter, but he doesn't agree that it necessarily helps the defenders. In the Hugging Face incident, which we had covered already, which you can check out in the link here or here, in this incident, we saw that Hugging Face had actually used an open weights model, which was GLM 5.2, to prevent the attack from GPT 5.6 from happening. But Dario Amade says that this does not necessarily mean that it would always favor defender. These open weights AI models could actually be used for attacks as well. And I completely agree with that attacks that we see happening right now, huge cyber scale attacks, increase in cyber attacks happening. So attackers are usually using open source and open weights AI model to actually carry out these attacks because they are fast, they are cheap, and you can remove their guardrails if any, and you can fine tune it for doing anything. Because when you have these open weights, you can do anything with them and run on your own server. So yeah, I get you, Dario. I get you what you're trying to say here. But looks like Anthropic is the only one that has not signed this letter. And there's also Open Secure AI Alliance that Nvidia and other partners had announced. And not just Anthropic, but also Google and OpenAI had stayed out of it. And this open source AI alliance was regarding using open weights AI for securing businesses and doing red teaming for them. So it's really interesting that all three have stayed out of it. To stay updated on the latest happenings in AI and to stay ahead of AI, please subscribe to this channel. See you in the next video.